Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, I'm very happy to see you all on second day, most of you. So today we are having an interesting topic, enlightening topic, which is Bhakti according to Narada's Bhakti Sutra. As we all know, whoever we have, if any one of you have read the Gospel of Ramakrishna, and I hope most of you have read the Gospel of Ramakrishna, there Sri Ramakrishna tells very clearly, in this present age, Narada's Bhakti is most suitable for us, or it is suitable for most of the people. That's what Sri Ramakrishna means. Then what is this Narada's Bhakti? Is it different from others' definition of Bhakti? The question may come for all of us, but it is not so. Whatever the Bhakti has been prescribed or described by Narada and many other leaders across the globe, there is no fundamental difference or there is no essential difference between the Narada's definition of the Bhakti and maybe Ramanuja's or Madhva's or Shankara's definition of Bhakti. This Bhakti is a very beautiful word. It is with full of love, it is with full of bliss, and it is with full of happiness actually. And maybe here I would like to give a word of caution that the people who follow the Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, they are very dry. And the path of knowledge is very dry, and the path of devotion is very loving and very, with full of sweet syrup and with full of wetness, divine wetness. There is a notion or there is an assumption about this path of knowledge and path of devotion like that. But it is not so. Because the Sri Ramakrishna, he appears he was the greatest Bhakta externally, but he was the greatest Gnani inside or internally. Contrary, when we see Swami Vivekananda, he was the greatest Vedantin, Advaita Vedantin externally, and he was the greatest devotee and inside. So this Gnana and Bhakti, they are not contrary to each other, they are complementary to each other, and both meet at the same place, as Sri Ramakrishna told very beautifully. But why then Sri Ramakrishna tells Bhakti is the easiest path or suitable path for all of us? He gives two reasons. One is straight away he gives explicitly, the other is hidden. One is that he says that because in this Annagata Prana, he uses the word Annagata Prana, in this Kali Yuga, in this present age, we have got weak body and weak mind. If you see in the olden days, like 1,000 years or 5,000 years before, when we read the history, religious and spiritual history, the saints, they did lot of austerities. Standing on one feet for years together, standing in the water and doing japa, and standing upside down or staying in the Himalayan caves, fasting. They used to do lot of penance actually. And so much energy, mostly everyone they had. But in this present age, Kali Yuga, that the strength of our body and mind has come down to larger extent of the common people. That's why Sri Ramakrishna says, Bhakti is easy. This is the one which explicitly he tells. Why? Because we are very strongly body-mind notion we have got. I am body, I am mind, I am body and I am mind. For such a person, the path of knowledge will be difficult. That's what Sri Ramakrishna means there. And implicitly, there is one more thing which is hidden in Sri Ramakrishna saying that we are all emotional beings actually, man is. Some of us, we are intellectuals and we live at the level of thoughts and level of ideas. But most of us, we are emotional beings. That's why any small disturbance in the life, either in the family life or in the professional life, that tells much upon our health. It tells much upon our life. It tells much upon our mind. Why? Our emotions are disturbed. Similarly, when I am happy, I can do anything and everything. Even I can, for example, Rita I saw in Berlin, she was working so much, she was feeling so happy, she was feeling joyful. Service mindedness, so she was feeling so much joy and happy, she was able to work so much. Even 2 or 3, 4 hours only she was sleeping actually in this 1 week. But joy, because that emotion. Behind there is emotion, there's a devotion towards Thakur, devotion to sadhus, and devotion to devotees, all these things. The devotion starts with emotion, afterwards it gets completely with the love. So we are all emotional beings. As a result, the path of devotion or the Bhakti Yoga, it is very suitable and it is very easy. And also, when it comes to Gnana Yoga, you have to do a lot of preparations. Though Bhakti, Ramacharya, the qualified monism, he says, there also he prescribed so many preparatory things. But in generally in a Bhakti, you don't need any much preparation. Irrespective of caste, irrespective of creed, irrespective of society, irrespective of country or religion, anyone can take this path of Bhakti. Whoever has studied Saint Francis of Assisi, who is one of the dearest saint for me, if you study his life, he's the greatest mystic he was. He was one of the greatest mystic. And if you see what Bhakti can bring, we can see very clearly when we study the Saint Francis of Assisi for an example. And if you see in India, there are a galaxy of saints have come, who come from very common background, very poor people, illiterate people, but still they became the best saints. They got whatnot, everything they got by this Bhakti. So it is one of the easiest path, and it is very suitable for all of us. Why? Because we have got emotions. We are emotionally driven people. Emotions are strong in us. And the other thing which, when I was thinking about this Bhakti Yoga, which occurred to me is, man is a social being. We have got relationships. We have got relation with the family like mother, father, brothers, sisters, friends, then children, then neighbors, citizens, then colleagues, all of us. So basically from day in and day out, or dawn to dusk, we all live our life with the relationships. That relationship is a worldly relationship, no doubt, or mortal relationship. If that relationship can be turned towards God, if that can be spiritualized, if that can be divinized, that is called Bhakti. That's why we keep very clearly, a old lady comes to Sri Ramakrishna and she expresses a problem. Master, I am unable to sit for meditation. Sri Ramakrishna asks, fine, what is your problem? She says, look, when I sit for meditation, I am not able to concentrate. Of course, that is a problem for all of us, no doubt. That is only her problem. Sri Ramakrishna says, fine, you are not able to concentrate. What is boggling you? Why are you not able to concentrate? She says, because I love my grandson so much, whenever I sit and whenever I want to think Krishna, instead of thinking Krishna, my mind is thinking of my grandson. What is he doing? Is sleeping or is kidding or whatever. So my mind is pondering on my grandson instead of Krishna. As a result, I am unable to meditate. So this can be different, such type of problems everyone we have to face in our life. But the Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful solution there. Sri Ramakrishna said, fine, that is not a problem. She took her back. Master, I am not able to concentrate, I am not able to meditate on Krishna, I am trying, my mind is meditating on my grandson, and you are saying there is no problem. And Sri Ramakrishna says, no, just you turn it, you shift it. What should I shift? He says, Sri Ramakrishna says, you start thinking, you start imagining your grandson as Balakrishna. The Balakrishna, the little Krishna has come in the form of Krishna, in the form of grandson. So when you give a bath, when you feed him, when you play with him, when you cajole him, when you take care of him, you start thinking that you are taking care of the little Krishna. It looks very simple, and sometimes it may look very absurd also for us, or it may look also, is it very practical or is it okay, all these things. But in her case, we can see very clearly, she took Sri Ramakrishna's teaching seriously and she started practicing. Slowly, she transcended herself from this problem, and she was able to see the Krishna in the grandson. Not only that, she was able to visualize the Krishna in everybody. This way Bhakti comes into picture, or this way the Bhakti comes into our help. We can spiritualize, we can divinize all of our relationships. That's where we can see even the relationship between Holy Mother and Sri Ramakrishna. Of course, it's a very extreme condition, no doubt. When Holy Mother was pressing the legs of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother asked, "How do you see me? How do you look at me?" The wife is asking the husband. And instantly, immediately, Sri Ramakrishna says, the person who is in the Dakshineshwar temple, that is Mother Kali, and the person who gave a birth to this body, and now the person who is pressing my legs, I see all of them saying, like Mother Kali and biological mother, you, all three are one and the same. So this is what I mean, divinizing relationship or spiritualizing relationships. So for this, Bhakti helps us. So in our day-to-day life, the distinction between the sacred and secular will go away if you can practice this spirituality more and more. It can be shifted towards my father, it can be shifted towards mother, it can be shifted towards children, it can be shifted towards friends. All of relationship can be divinized so that every day, every moment we can live the life of spirituality. That is the greatness of this devotion. Fine. What is devotion then? Narada says that Parama Prema Swarupa. It is of the nature of supreme love. And this one word, adjective, or the nature supreme, is very important here. We all understand the love in our day-to-day life. By using this one word, supreme love, he is trying to differentiate that what is the worldly love and what is the divine love. So divine love is a supreme love, that is the love towards God, love towards the Almighty, love towards the Supreme Spirit. And also if you see, when we say harmony of yogas or when we take any yoga, every yoga is predominantly pondering on one aspect of the Almighty actually. Like for example, I am a Karma Yogi. Or someone of you might feel that Karma Yoga, I feel very happy because I would like to serve the people, I would like to serve the humanity, I would like to serve the society. Then by Karma Yoga, by practicing Karma Yoga, can you reach God? Can I reach God? This question may come for all of us. And if you see the traditional Vedanta, either Advaita Vedanta or Vishishta Advaita or Dvaita or Shuddha Advaita or many other schools of Vedanta, they say no. All of them say that it is only you can get the Chitta Shuddhi, the purification of the mind. Whereas Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda say very clearly, by Karma Yoga also you can reach God, you can reach self. How is it? We keep on quoting this, but many of us we don't think actually. How is it possible? So when I was pondering on this philosophical question, philosophical dilemma, I got the answer is, when we are practicing Karma Yoga, that means what? We are trying to concentrate or we are trying to give the importance of the aspect of the Sat part of the God. As we all know, the nature of the God is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is what? Existence. Chit, consciousness, awareness, knowledge, all these things. And Ananda is what? The love, is what? The bliss. Now the Karma Yogin is giving the importance for the Sat aspect and he is trying to manifest the divinity, seeing the Lord exists in everywhere. The existence part of the Almighty is given importance there. That doesn't mean that he neglects other parts, but importance is given for that. Now what about the Gnani? The person who is in the path of knowledge. He gives the importance, probably by this time you would have understood or you could very well imagine, he gives the importance for the Chit part. Chit is what? Knowledge, consciousness, awareness. In the path of knowledge, we try to experience that awareness. We try to experience that consciousness. So the Gnani always gives the importance for the Chit. Now coming to our topic today. What about the devotee then? Devotee gives the importance for the Ananda part of the Almighty. The love. The love, bliss, Ananda, all are synonyms actually. That's where there's a beautiful story in the Bhagavata. At some point of time, Krishna asks his mother Yashoda, "Oh mother, if you want mukti, I will bless you, you will get instant liberation, you will get mukti." Yashoda says, imagine if Sri Ramakrishna comes in front of us and says, if you want mukti, if not all, most of us we said yes. Or someone say, no, I have got some other works, afterwards we'll see. But or most of us, we may say yes. But interestingly, Yashoda said, no, I don't want mukti. Very strange. Then Krishna asked, people are doing lot of penance for thousands of years for this mukti, and it is like ready to eat. I am giving a ready-made product, like I am giving you. Do you want mukti? I am ready to give you instant liberation. And you are saying no. Why? Because Krishna, if you give mukti, I will get liberated. That's fine, but I don't want. Then what do you want? I want to experience that bliss, being separate. I want to experience your Leela. I want to see your divine sport, so I don't want mukti. So this is the greatness of Bhakti. Sri Ramakrishna tells this philosophical truth beautifully in a simple language. I don't want to become sugar, I want to taste the sugar. So Gnani always, he thinks that he wishes, he desires that I would like to become sugar. And the Bhakta says that no, I don't want to become sugar, I want to taste the sugar. So that's what Yashoda said. I don't want liberation, because if I liberate, then I get merges in you. But then there is no duality, then I can't enjoy, I can't experience the divine bliss, divine Ananda, Paramananda or Brahmananda. I want to be myself separate and I want to enjoy your presence or your divine sport or your Leela or whatnot. And this is the greatness of Bhakti. And also in the Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, Krishna says to Arjuna, see, if someone wants Gnana means ultimate knowledge, that is the realization of the self. If someone wants, and if they are really deserving, I give easily, instantly I will give them. But someone wants Bhakti, I don't give so easily. Why? Because someone, they want Gnana or liberation, if I give, then they get liberated, no problem. But if I give Bhakti, then what happens? The Bhakta, if he is in problem, I should go and take care of him, I have to serve him. That's the reason I am a bit careful and I am a bit miser to give the Bhakti, he says. The greatness of Bhakti has been told by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhakti is nothing but the supreme love or divine love. Now what is the sign of this love? We are all devotees. We all think that, of course it is fact, no doubt, that's why we are all here, that we love God. I want God. I want to experience God. So I am a devotee. Now the question may come for all of us, how much I am, advanced in the spiritual path? How much I have got the devotion? And I am a devotee, but still why Thakur is testing me? Why is giving a lot of difficulties? All these type of questions, doubts, it comes in our mind as a part of spiritual progress and spiritual journey. There the saints say that when you get a divine love, when it gets complete, you don't demand anything, you don't ask for anything, just you enjoy the presence of the divine. This is called Prasada Buddhi, which is told in a Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter or in the 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga. When we are discussing Karma Yoga, we always speak of Ishwararpana Buddhi, that is the offering of the fruits of action. The offering of the fruits of action also includes this Prasada Buddhi. When I offer the fruits of action to the God, oh God, this is what I could serve, this is what I was able to serve, I am able to do work, so I am offering the fruits of action. If that is the case, then I am not supposed to expect anything. God, I served you so much, how can you give me difficulties? If that is the case, that means still I am anticipating something. I don't say that you should not anticipate or anything, but that means our devotion is not taken its complete form. That's what I mean, Prasada Buddhi. Whereas if you see in the life of all the great saints, they never complained why God gave so much problem. I was taunted, I was haunted, I was mocked, or I was probably taken for task for no reason, but still they keep quiet. Why? Because it's a God's wish. It's a God's will. There's a very funny story in Sri Ramakrishna's life. Balaram Bose, I think every one of you know the Balaram Bose, was one of the greatest devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. When Sri Ramakrishna was leaving in his physical body, when he goes to Calcutta, in this Balaram Bose house only he used to take the rice, normal food. Otherwise in all devotees' house, just sweets and fruits only. Because otherwise if there is a contamination, that anything, he was unable to touch his food, unable to touch the food. That's so much purity Sri Ramakrishna had. That's what the problem he had. But he used to take in Balaram Bose house because he didn't have any problem there. And for some reason in Balaram Bose house, often people were getting sick And there were so many deaths also, one after another, one after another, one after another. 2 or 3 series of deaths in a very small time. Once Holy Mother said to Sri Ramakrishna, Master, they are such a great devotees. The whole family is so much devoted to you, and they have taken care of you so much. And there so much deaths are happening. Why don't you take care of them? Why don't you do something? Why don't you stop? Why don't you prevent? Sri Ramakrishna says, funnily, it is my goat. If I wish, I will chop it from back or from front. It is my goat. Holy Mother keeps quiet. These are the small incidents which we read in Sri Ramakrishna's master's life or in Gospel of Ramakrishna, but we don't ponder, we don't think or seriously about this. This is one of the greatest lessons for all of us. As being a devotee of Thakur or being of God. What does Sri Ramakrishna means that? I know how to tame people. I know how to surrender. I know how to make them to surrender to the Almighty or Divine will. So, as a necessity or as my wish, I will be going on giving the difficulties. By giving difficulties, that means I love them. I am trying to make them fittest instruments in thy hands or in my hands. So when we get difficulties, when we get problems, we cry, no doubt. We get tensed, no doubt. Sometimes we get cursed people, we get cursed God even. Oh, I became an atheist. Why? Because God is not gracious. God is not compassionate. How can He can give difficulties? All such type of commotions or emotions, we do get it. But actually when you take it as a prasada buddhi, when you take it as a boon from the God, then instead of surviving, you will travel yourself to the evolving mode. Survive, evolve. Most of us, we are always in the survival mode. Somehow I would like to survive in the earth. Somehow I would like to survive in the life. Somehow I like to manage in the company affairs. I would like to manage home affairs. I would like to manage in the society. So most of the time we are in the survival mode. Maybe to start with, it is good. The survival mode is good, no doubt. But slowly, all these things should help us to evolve. So much so that nothing taints us. Nothing disturbs us. We can be happily always in that God intoxicated mode. That's where Bhakti comes into picture. If you see the life of Swami Vivekananda, how much troubles he had to face. After his demise of his father, till his leaving physical body, there was single day where he was aram. Aram se we say in Hindi, in Indian language, aram se means comfortable living. Swami Vivekananda never had any comfortable living, but he never had any complaints. What can we understand from that? What can we learn? When you transcend yourself from this duality, from this world, you can live happily in spite of having all these difficulties or these problems. How it is possible? By Bhakti. Through Bhakti or through Jnana or through Karma Yoga or through unselfish work, we can get this. This is the greatness of Bhakti. That's why it is called supreme love or divine love. So, Narada defines Bhakti as Parama Prema Swarupa. This is the second sutra. Parama is the supreme, Prema Swarupa of the nature of love. And the third sutra, he beautifully explains Amrita Swarupa Cha. Sutra means actually, it is in a formula form. As much as possible in very few letters, few alphabets it has to be told, without any confusion, without any negative connotations. At the same time, telling the point, telling the view, telling the philosophy in a crystal clear way. That is called sutras, formulas. It is sort of reminding. So this is Narada Bhakti Sutra. In a very crypted form, they tell actually. The third is Amrita Swarupa Cha. Cha means and or also. But this and also gives lot of meaning actually. And also means it is Parama Prema Swarupa and Amrita Swarupa also. Amrita Swarupa means the Bhakti is the nature of immortal. The worldly love is mortal, but the divine love is of immortal in nature. When we say Amrita Swarupa, it is of the immortal nature, what does it mean? It is the means and it is as well as the end also. It is the means and it is as well as the end. Now, how to understand this? Again, I will probably take the help of Gospel of Ramakrishna. Who can attain God? Who can realize God? Or when can I attain God? When can I realize God? By doing what I can realize God? All these type of questions we do get as spiritual aspirants. The answer is given in Gospel of Ramakrishna through a simple parable. The story goes like this. Narada, he came from Vaikuntha, and just for some work, he was traveling in the earth, in this earth. A spiritual aspirant who renounced the world, he was living in the forest, in the thatched earth, and he was trying to do his own spiritual practices in his own possible way. A few hours every day, sincerely was doing the spiritual practices. Then that aspirant came out and he saw that Narada is walking. Then he said, "Oh Devarshi Narada, oh celestial sage, I am grateful to you. Thank you that I have had a blessed, by seeing you I am feeling blessed." Narada says, "Fine, thank you." Then he said, "I have got one question, will you help me?" Narada said, "Fine, please tell me what you want me to help. What can I do you? Because I know that you keep on going to Vaikuntha always. So next when you go to Vaikuntha, to Narayana's abode, Vishnu's abode, can you ask me on my behalf, when will I get moksha? When will I get mukti? Or when will I get, God's vision?" Narada said, "Oh, that's all. Okay, I can ask for you on your behalf and I will get the answer, no doubt." Then Narada continued his walking. After some more time, one more devotee, he was sitting below the tamarind tree. I don't know if you have visited India, you will be knowing the tamarind tree. The tamarind trees will be very huge and the leaves are very tiny actually. In one branch, it can be thousands of leaves. Because it is so tiny, thousands of leaves can be there in one small branch even. So in such below tamarind tree, this aspirant was sitting and he was doing bhajans, devotional singing. When he saw Narada, he came and he paid his respects. And he also said same thing. "Oh Narada, can you do me a favor?" Narada said, "Please tell me, when you go to Vaikuntha, can you ask me, when will I get God's vision? When will I be able to experience the Narayana in my own physical eyes?" Narada said, "Fine, I will help you." And Narada continued his walking and he went. After a few days, again Narada was coming on the same path. Then the first aspirant, he came out and because Narada knocked his door, the fellow came out. And Narada, when he saw Narada, he was very happy. He paid his respects. And the first aspirant asked, "Did you ask Narayana that when will I get mukti or when will I get Bhagavad Darshana, the Lord's vision?" "Yeah, my dear, I asked, but he said your spiritual practice is not enough. Maybe 4 or 5, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 births you have to undergo, then you will get the God's vision." He said, "What? Still I have to wait for 3 or 4 or 5 janmas, births? I renounced my life. I didn't enjoy the world. I didn't enjoy these worldly possessions or whatever, because for God's sake I renounced everything and I keep on doing my spiritual practices and still 2, 3 or 4 or 5. Then what is the use of this? Then I will go back to the world and will enjoy. Then I will reserve my spiritual practices after 2 or 3 births." And he went back. Then Narada continued his walking. The second aspirant asked, "My dear sage, did you ask Narayana on my behalf?" Narada said, "Yes, my dear, but I fear to tell the truth, to tell the Narayana statement." This aspirant said, "No, my dear, please tell." And Narada said, "Please don't get offended. Already one fellow got offended and he left his spiritual path, and I don't want you also." But the second aspirant said, "No, my dear, whatever Narayana said, you have to tell the truth and you tell the truth." No. Then Narada said, "Please, you should make yourself strong. You should make your heart stone heart you should have. Otherwise, you may get heart attack." Of course, I'm adding few things. Sri Ramakrishna didn't say all these things. So Narada said, and the other fellow said, "Okay, yes, fine, you can tell the truth." Narada said, "You see, there is a tamarind tree. Yes, I'm sitting every day below this and I'm repeating the Lord's name, I'm doing bhajans and all. You know, how many leaves are there in this tamarind tree? When so many janmas, so many births, once you finish, then you will get God's vision, it seems. That means 100,000 births probably. You cannot count. It will be very difficult probably. Counting machine also may get confused. So many births he has to undergo. See, for astonishment, probably we would have left. Oh, that means okay, then there is no use of this guard and we will reserve for something future. Then we would have gone back. But this fellow said, oh, okay. So those many births afterwards I will get guard. That's fine, thank you, I am very happy. So the contrary experience or the answer or whatever he said, oh, thank you, Narada, I am very grateful to you. Okay, then this has given me more confidence to remember God, and I will try to increase my spiritual practices so that I'll be able to get the God. I'll be able to get the God vision at least after so many births. And the Narada left, and this fellow started again. He intensified his spiritual practices. He intensified his bhajans. He intensified devotional singing. In no time, God appeared. God said, "Just I was testing you." God appeared, and he had the vision or the experience of the God. And afterwards, this is what the story we can learn here. Most of us, we try to practice meditation, we try to practice karma yoga, we try to practice gnana yoga, we try to practice bhakti yoga, or some of you might practice raja yoga, all these things. Many times we feel it as a cumbersome. I have to do it, no doubt. Without doing, there's no alternative. Without doing, probably, I don't get God, I don't get self-realization, and I get full happiness, it seems here. So, without any, since there is no alternative, I will be doing it. Sometimes, I'm not saying everyone, or even in our own life, we feel that as a necessity, as a necessary evil. So instead of that, when we start enjoying the spiritual practice, when we start enjoying the spiritual struggles, then it will be no more burden. Whether in this life, or the next life, or after the next 10 lives, we can experience the God. Then the spiritual life will be no more problem. It will be no more cumbersome. It will be no more heavy on us or heavy on our shoulders. This is what we can see in the life of all the great saints. And with Patrick, I was explaining about my Gurudev's food actually. We used to, we used to joke about our Gurudev's food, like Sakara, Nirguna, Brahma. And the philosophical jokes, when we are monks, we do jokes, we do philosophical jokes. Sakara means it has got a form, and Akara, it has got a form. Nirguna, it doesn't have any guna, it doesn't have any quality. So my Gurudev's food is, it has got a form and no taste. It is a taste, one of the best tasteless food I ever experienced. I tasted my Gurudev's food. Because of his health or whatever the doctors had prescribed, I've literally seen, and I could had a chance of cooking also his food. 10 grams lady's finger, 20 grams potato, 30 grams tomato, 5 grams some other spices or whatever. And in this 30 or 40 degrees centigrade you have to heat, and so much you have to cool, smash, give. First time we didn't know that, already it was prepared and Gurudev's food was done, and just one sevak brought the food. We are very happy, we will be able to take the prasad of Gurudev. Then we asked, Maharaj, will you give some prasad of Gurudev? He gave a small teaspoon prasad he gave. Then we were little, probably greedy, and we thought we should take more prasad, we'll get more spiritual progress. Then we asked, Maharaj, can you give a little more, some more? If no one is there, can you give more? Then he said, my dear, first you taste this. If you want, I can give it. We are young chaps, we were not ready to listen all that. No Upadesha was of a while that. They said, no, we want more. We want Gurudev's prasad. We don't know when we'll get. Please give me more, please give me. Then he said, okay, it is your fate, what can I do? And he gave a big spoon of thing. Then just first a lick I took, a first taste I did. My face got very blank and he said, what is this? Is this a food? And the secretary, the Sevak Maharaj said, my dear, he is enjoying this food for more than 30 years. Then I understood how he lives at the level of ideas and thoughts. So he is taking the food as a medicine. We have to pay the tax for this body, so he is paying the tax, that's all. He is taking the food as a medicine. It was completely no taste at all. He was just taking it. Whatever the doctors have prescribed, just he was taking it. Then, contrary, I have seen with one of the sadhu. He was diabetic, he was abnormally normal, so always sugar used to be 200, 300 and all. Once the dietitian said, you should take this, you should not take this, all these things. Then the sadhu said, if I don't take this, I don't take the food, then why should I live? Better I eat and die. So my Gurudev used to tell, eat shamelessly, suffer silently. Eat shamelessly and suffer silently. That is the sadhu, one of the senior sadhu used to practice that. Eat shamelessly and suffer silently. Because he said, without taking the food, then why should I leave? No, let me enjoy and let me die. What is there? That was his approach towards that. Now, if you see in all these great people's life, like my Gurudev, he never bothered about the food, he never bothered about the external circumstances. He was always at the level of the ideas, he was always at the level of thoughts. He was always the God-centered life or the self-centered life. Self-centered life means like Atman-centered life. This is what spirituality. But sometimes we are always disturbed, we are always moved with the worldly problems, no doubt, but slowly, we can never solve, we have to transcend. When we transcend, what happens? The things won't change, the people won't change, situations may not change, but I can be blissful, I can be happy. That's what I learned, one of the biggest lessons from my Gurudev's life, from Holy Mother's life especially. She's one of the good manager actually. Stress management, if you want to see who is the Holy Mother, can be the best example for the stress management. She never had any stress because she accepted everyone, she lived with everyone in the symphony. So Amrita Swarupa, that immortal nature, whatever, through Bhakti one can get it. Will not have any complaint, will not have anything, and will be self-contained, will be full form. No demands, no cravings. I want this, I want that. We have got a big list actually. But really when the Bhakti gets culminated, when the Bhakti gets matured, you don't ask for anything because you feel you are complete. How to understand? Simple example we can take the Chandramani Devi. We know the Chandramani Devi is the biological mother of Sri Ramakrishna. Chandramani Devi was living in the Nahabat. Whoever visited Dakshineshwar, all of you know, it is a 10/6 room. Holy Mother is to stay in the ground floor and the Chandramani Devi is to stay in the first floor. And if you see the Chandramani Devi, from her young age, she never had any comfortable life. All the while, she had a poverty and a square meal. At the most, she had a square meal and a few saris probably. And now at least, Mathurnath Vishwasi approached her and said, Mother, you tell me, what do you want? You want Banaras silk saris? You want gold? You want money? Or you want land? You want houses? What do you want? You tell me, I am ready to give. Now you imagine like jackpot. Like jackpot. Someone is asking you blank check giving, you can write how much you want. Like that, Mathurnath Vishwas is asking. Then she starts thinking, what can I ask? It is not that she has got a big list, but she is unable to ask what is required. She thinks for 5 minutes and says, my dear, already you have provided everything for me and I don't think I want anything else. Mathurnath doesn't want to leave that because already he has failed with Sri Ramakrishna. Because he asked and Sri Ramakrishna scolded him. Now at least he wants to try with his mother. He pleaded, no mother, please think. I will give some more time. You think some more time and you tell me, what do you want? She thinks and afterwards she tells her, okay, because I got a habit of taking a betel leaf and a betel nut. For the tobacco powder is not there. Can you get a 1 rupees of tobacco powder? I can eat when after my food with a betel leaf and betel nut. Then the tears rolled down on the Mathurnath Vishwas and said, that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna took birth in your womb. Why only Sri Ramakrishna took birth in your house or in your womb only? Why not in the neighbor's house? Because now we can understand who are you like. So that immortal nature gives the sense of completeness. That's what we can see in the life of Chandramani Devi. And same thing, we get a very funny incident, probably most of you know, with the Koka Maharaj, Swami Subodhananji, one of the monastic, brother disciple of Swami Vivekananda. Once in Belur Math, at the midnight, Swami Vivekananda, he got up and he wanted something. Immediately, there was next to him, Koka Maharaj, Swami Subodhananji. He called him, can you help me or can you serve me? Subodhananji got up in the midnight and he served Swamiji. And Swami Vivekananda was so happy, he was impressed by the services of Koka Maharaj. That is Swami Subodhananji. He said, Koka, you ask me what you want. I am ready to give whatever you want. Now you see, Ishvara himself is telling, what do you want? You ask, I will give. Then again, same thing. Koka Maharaj is thinking and is unable to remember what he wants. Or he is not able to get what he wants. Raja Maharaj, that's Brahmanji sitting next to him, said, Koka, you don't get this chance. Swamiji doesn't give this type of chance for everyone. You have got chance. Please don't miss it. You ask something. Don't miss it. Then Koka Maharaj, Subodhanji, he thought. Okay, I like tea. Huh? So wherever I go, at the early morning, I should get a tea. Please bless me. Swami Vivekananda said, may your desire, may your prayer be fulfilled. And afterwards, the young monks and brahmacharis, after many years, they asked Koka Maharaj, Swami Subodha, Maharaj, we heard that you have been blessed by Swamiji. Did you get tea wherever you went? He said, yes. Even when I went to Himalayas, when I went to deep inside forest for tapasya, even at that places where there is no people, there are no houses or whatever, somehow, miraculously, someone used to come and give the best tea. So till now, even as soon as I get up, I had always tea, best tea, because Swamiji's grace or what. You see, this is the sense of completeness. When we get that devotion, when the devotion gets culminated, when the devotion gets matured, when the devotion gets complete, then we don't seek anything. We don't desire anything. We don't crave anything. That's what we mean, Amrita Swarupacha, immortal. Why? What is that immortality convey? The immortality conveys what? It is the completeness. That's what we can see in all the greatest devotees. And also probably you know Swami Vivekananda's prayer. Swami Vivekananda was in the aristocratic family. His father was the big solicitor in those times. He had a big house and so many workers. They used to eat the silver plate every day. As soon as father dies, we all know that in a day they were thrown out of their own house, and Swami Vivekananda, his mother, younger sisters and elder sisters and younger brothers, everyone came on the footpath, care of platform, without having a single pipe. Till yesterday, they were the richest people. They used to dine with the silver plate and silver spoon. Now nothing is there. Then finally, grandmother came and they were taken. And they had a lot of difficulties. Whoever read Swami Vivekananda's life, all of us we know. And once Swami Vivekananda goes and he pleads, Sri Ramakrishna, please ask your mother, that is Mother Kali, that let her bless, so that not for me, my mother and my sisters and younger brothers, let them have a square meal and 2 sets of clothes, nothing else, just I want. Sri Ramakrishna tells, look, I have already spoken to Mother Kali on your behalf. But she says that she's angry on you because you don't accept her. That's why she's angry on you. Then what shall I do? You go and ask her yourself. Then Swami Vivekananda says, no, because I never accepted her. I never believed her. Why will she listen to my prayers? So Sri says, no. If you go and if you ask her, she doesn't discriminate. She will definitely fulfill your prayers. Why don't you go and ask? Then Narendra, though he was reluctant, then he was forced to go. And probably what do you expect? You go and mother, oh please, my mother and my sisters and my brothers, let them have a square meal, let them have clothes, if possible a small house at least, let them have a simple basic living. Would have asked probably any one of you or any one of us. For that, in that intention only he approached Mother Kali. But when he saw the Mother Kali, he forgot everything and he asked, please give me devotion, please give me knowledge, please give me renunciation. Dana, Bhakti, Vairagya, Yogi. Mother Kali was happy. She said, okay, may your wish, may your prayer be fulfilled. Then he came to Sri Ramakrishna with that intoxicated mood. Sri Ramakrishna asked, my dear Naren, did you ask? Then Naren said, I have forgotten. When I saw the Mother Kali, I forgot everything. And I asked for devotion, and I asked for knowledge, and I asked for renunciation. She said, what fool you are. You didn't remember even this small prayer. Then Naren said, what can I do now? You only help me. She said, no, you go and ask. Shyam said, you go and ask again. Again he went. Again he forgot. And again he asked for Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. And Mother said, Tatastu, that may your wish be fulfilled. He comes and again he says, I forgot. And Sri Ramakrishna scolds him. And he said, are you not able to control your emotions to a certain extent? You control, you go. And third time he controlled, he went, but he felt that if I ask Mother for these trivial things, it is just like asking a pumpkin with the king. And he couldn't ask, and he asked only for Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya. And afterwards he comes back and he understands this is your trick, this is all your play. We understand and he plays, no, please not for me, at least you, for my mother's sake, you do something. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, from today onwards your mother and your sister and your brothers will not have any dearth of food. They will have a square meal every day and they will have a simple living. Then their position, financial position, slowly it became better. No, probably this can be the extreme condition or the extreme thing, like where we can ask only for Gnana Bhakti Viveka Vairagya. I think I have to ask for some money, I would like to ask something to get away the difficulties, I would like to ask for my family. All these type of desires or wishes, prayers, we may get it, and there is no mistake in that asking. Because Krishna himself says that there are 4 types of devotees, my devotees. He categorizes the devotees into the 4 groups. One is Artha. Artha means the person who is in distress, stress or in a problem. When I am in a problem, then I approach mother. Then I approach father. When I am a child, like when I am in distress, when I am in a stress, when I am in a problem, I approach mother or father for my help. Similarly, I can approach God. Okay, I have got this problem. Please help me. Please save me. Okay, I have got this desire. Please fulfill me. Let us be open and straightforward. Like Girish used to drink in front of Sri Ramakrishna. So, okay, I have got this desire. Please fulfill. So this is Artha. Artha means when we is in distress, when we is in a problem, difficulties, we approach God and we pray to fulfill our difficulties. To solve our difficulties. Then Artharthi, one who desires wealth. I want wealth, materialistic wealth, I want name, fame, power, position, whatnot, all the spiritual, materialistic comforts I want. Even such people can approach God, and if you pray, your wish is granted. That's what Krishna says. And the third is Jignasu. Gnatum Ichcha Jignasu means one who is interested in knowing the ultimate truth. What is the ultimate truth? What is the supreme truth? He wants to know the secret behind this universe, nature of God, nature of oneself, all this. He also worships God. He also approaches God. Even his prayers are fulfilled. The other is Gnani. The interesting thing, Gnani is one who wants to experience the ultimate reality. Even if he approaches God, even his desires are fulfilled. So all of us, either we are in some category. Either in Artha, we have got problems, we approach God. Or Artharthi, I want something, so I approach God. And I want to know the truth, I am approaching the God. Or I would like to experience God, I would like to experience self, that's why I am approaching God. We may be in one of the category, never mind. But experiencing the God, loving God is what very, very important. That's what it says, Amrita Swarupat. You get the best thing by this devotion. And yat labdva trupto bhavati. The next sutra says, if you get devotion, you get completely satisfied. In the materialistic pursuits, all the times it is not so. First I wanted just a vehicle, I got it. Then I wanted one house, I got it. Then after this, X, Y, Z, like that, n number of things will be there in our wish list actually. One is tick, then second thing is there. After this, one more. After that, ticking one more thing. We all keep on expecting, we can pray and wish all these things. But whereas in this devotion, the spirituality, it gets completeness. You don't aspire for anything. You don't seek anything. Trupto bhavati. This is the greatness of the devotion. So, what is devotion? That is the supreme love. Supreme love. Then by getting what happens? It is the nature of immortality. Amrita Swarupacha. Then Trupta Bhavati. You will get ever satisfied. You will get completely satisfied. You don't feel anything you want. Then Siddho Bhavati. You will be the successful man, successful woman, successful person in the sense, not in the materialistic sense. Real success will be of yours. So this is what devotion is. This is the greatness of the devotion. In the afternoon session, we will try to discuss how to attain the devotion, how to practice the devotion, what are the sadhana and what are the practical means to attain the devotion. We shall try to discuss in the afternoon class. No problem, I open for questions. Always after the food, I used to make a fun. When Madhya Pradesh is heavy, Uttar Pradesh won't work. Because all our energy and blood circulation goes to the stomach now to get digestion. So brain gets less blood circulation so that it becomes active, inactive or inert. So always I take, it is a test for the speaker. So yeah, morning we try to discuss about what is devotion, what is bhakti, and we try to understand that it's Parama Prema Swarupa. It is of the nature of supreme love, is what Bhakti. And also it is of the nature of immortality. So by being a devotee, we get immortality, or we experience that immortal bliss. And also a few other things, which it is completeness we feel, and we don't get any craving. All our cravings are taken care of. Thank you. All these things we saw. Now, after hearing this, probably we'll be thinking how to inculcate bhakti. I think you also asked about this. So there are a couple of exercises, spiritual exercises, devotional exercises are being given. Now Narada is called Devarshi Narada. Devarshi means celestial sage. Rishi means spiritual scientist actually. Now Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Thomas Alva Edison, these were also scientists. They invented something. They discovered something. Similarly in India, the rishis, the scientists were called in Sanskrit rishis. They invented, they discovered. They gave atomic theory. For example, Kanada, he gave atomic theory thousands of years before itself. He speaks of atoms, he speaks of molecules, and two atoms getting connected or mixed, it is called Dvenuka, and three atoms when it comes into contact, that's called Trenukas. And what is atomic theory, how it happens, all these things have been told. And metallurgy has told. And there is a beautiful Sutras on Vimana, that is an aeroplane. And pilot, what food he should take, what type of dress he should take, and how the aeroplane can be built, all this. But it is unfortunately, it is not unfortunate. Fortunately, it is in Sanskrit, but unfortunately, we have left the Sanskrit and we are not able to learn many things in it. So similarly, Rishi means scientist actually. Now, in Rishis, there were different gradations. The basic scientist was known as Rishi. Then among them, one of the best one is called Maharshi. Maharshi means Maharishi, Maharshi is best among the Rishis. Then Devarshi. Devarshi is called Deva Rishi, celestial sage. This Deva Rishi is what? He is very nearer to God, and he can go to any other worlds also. Like he can come to the earth, he can go to the below worlds, and he can go to the above worlds, and he can meet the celestial beings, he can meet the God, and he can converse and all. That is what is called like a courier service, messenger. He was a God's messenger sort of. He is called Devarshi. Then one more category we come in this Rishi, Rajarshi. Rajarshi means he is a king or is a statesman, but is also leading a God-centered life, spiritual-centered life, or the self-centered life. He is the king, he is doing all, discharging his duties, but is not attached to the kingdom, is not attached to the riches or anything. He is a completely detached life. For example, Janaka, we see the history, Janaka. He was a king, he was looking after the empire so beautifully, and at the same time he used to spend a lot of time to discuss about the self-knowledge. The Maitreyi, Gargi, all these people were seen in Ashtavakra, they were seen in his kingdom. So Ambarisha has also given one more example of this Rajarshi. After the Raj, the highest state is called Brahmarshi. Brahmarshi means one who has experienced that self, one who has got absolute spiritual power. I mean, not compared to gods, not compared to Sachidananda, but among the Rishis, he had a complete spiritual power. For example, Vasishta, Valmiki, there are a list of saints, a list of Rishis which we see in Ramayana, Mahabharata, they were called Brahmarshis. Now this Narada was Devarshi. And Narada's story is very interesting actually. Many of us may not be knowing. There are a couple of, in mythological stories or Puranas, in Ramayana, Mahabharata, his reference comes. There are few versions also. One established standard version of the story I am taking and explaining you now. He was born to a poor woman. And he didn't know who is his father. And just probably he was at the age of 5 or 6 or 7, he lost even his mother also. She was a housemaid, she used to work in houses and she used to take care of herself and the son. Unfortunately, at the age of 6 or 7, she died. So Narada was orphan. But being an orphan, he didn't go to depression or he didn't become any antisocial element. Instead of that, he started serving the saints. He started serving the holy people. Whenever the holy people comes, he used to welcome, he used to bring water for them, he used to prepare food for them, he used to serve them. As a result, when they are discussing, debating about philosophy, about the devotion and the devotional practices when they were doing, he used to sit along with them and he used to observe, and he inculcated the devotion and spirituality to a larger extent. And because he served the saints, he got a lot of blessings from the saints and from the sages or from the monks. As a result, in this young age itself, he became a devotee and he started dedicating his time in pursuit of God. Maybe age of 9 or 10, he went to the forest and he sat and he started meditating. A long meditation he did, very deep and long meditation for years. Then Lord Narayana appeared for him and he said, you be a devotee and you continue your practices, but you have to take one more birth. One more birth is pending for you. So Lord Narayana appeared, he blessed him with the vision and he disappeared. Then he continued his spiritual practices for some more time and he died. In the next life, he was born as a spiritual son of the creator God, which is called Brahma. So among the 10 Manasaputras, this Narada is also one. And he is called Devarshi, where he could go to any worlds and he could discuss with anyone whatever is required with any god or demigods or even demons or demon kings, all this. So he is the Devarshi. So he is one of the such greatest devotee, such a beautiful, real devotee, and he has written these Bhakti Sutras. So it is not mere intellectual, it is not just because he speculated and he thought, as a philosopher he didn't write, he wrote out of his experience. That's where when you study the Narada Bhakti Sutra, most of the place you don't find any terse form actually. When you read commentaries, when you read philosophies and all, especially Nyaya and all, you find somewhere very intellectual knots, and somewhere you find very terse form, very complicated, you need a lot of mental gymnasium, intellectual exercises to understand all these things. But when you study Narada Bhakti Sutras, you don't find anything. Just simple Sanskrit, if you have got knowledge, you can directly understand. Others with a simple translations and commentary, easily you can understand. Because this Narada Bhakti Sutra has been written not from his mind and not from his thinking, rather it is by his own experience. That is one of the very interesting book. Now Narada gives 11 types of sadhanas. So based on that, probably I will try to discuss today. First and foremost, he says Guna Dhyana. Guna Dhyana. Dhyana is meditation. Guna means qualities. So meditation on qualities or meditating on the qualities. What does it mean? God has got infinite qualities. God has got infinite qualities. We can meditate on the God's infinite qualities. This is a type of meditation. It is a type of spiritual practice. For that, which it comes to my mind is the best one of the thing, being a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, all of us, Khandana Bhava Bandhana is one of the best hymn for us to meditate on our Ishtadevata. Every word is a mantra there actually. It is, compared this Khandana Bandhana to the Purusha Sukta in the Ramakrishna order. Purusha Sukta is from the Vedas, which discuss the universal form of the Lord. So even this Khandana Bhava Bandhana, if you deeply study, you will understand, Swami Vivekananda has not used the word Ramakrishna at all in that directly, but he has given the universal form of Sri Ramakrishna, who is Sri Ramakrishna, in this Khandana Bhava Bandhana. And the beauty of this, if you study, you will understand, this can be equated to any god. Like for example, you are a devotee of Shiva. Now can I sing Khandana Bhava Bandhana and can I meditate on Shiva's qualities? Yes, you can do. And now someone is worshipper of the Devi Durga. Now you have studied Devi Bhagavata, so you know some stories and you know to a certain extent about Devi or Durga. By singing Khandana Bhava Bandhana, you can relate the qualities of the Durga from this Khandana Bandhana. And even I made some thinking or experiment. Even for example, whoever studied the life of Jesus Christ in total, you've got a fair knowledge about the Jesus Christ life and Jesus Christ quality. Keeping that in the mind, if you sing Khandana, you'll be able to correlate. You'll be able to meditate on Jesus Christ infinite qualities, divine qualities, even by thinking or by meditating on Khandana Bhava Bandhana. So this Khandana Bhava Bandhana is a beautiful hymn actually. Every word defines, describes the quality of the God the quality of the Sachidananda, the quality of the Supreme Spirit. So for an example, Kandana Bandhana means he is the destroyer of this bondage. Khandana, Bhava, Bandhana. Bhava is samsara. Samsara here, there are many meanings you can tell. One meaning is cycle of birth and death, which is called Bandhana, bondage. Khandana, one who destroys. So Sri Ramakrishna is the destroyer of our bondage. The bondage of birth, the cycle of birth and death. So one who surrenders at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, one who surrenders at the feet of the divinity, what happens? His bondage is released. That's where we can see beautifully in the case of Rasika. If you have studied Sri Ramakrishna's life, or even in the company of Sri Ramakrishna, how to see God with open eyes, there are beautiful books written by Swami Chetananandji. Because I am telling all these books, because most of you might not read Bengali books. If you read Bengali books, there are so many stories like this, which has happened in Sri Ramakrishna's life. One example I will give you, Rasika's story. Now, Rasika comes from the poor background and from the lower caste. Now we don't have much these differences in even India. But unfortunately, in 120, 150 years before, there was a lot of this untouchability. Like in the West, it was a racism. In the India, it was a casteism. So higher caste people never used to go and touch lower caste people. Lower caste people can never enter the houses of higher caste people, which was, unfortunately, it was there as a part of untouchabilism. Sri Ramakrishna, being born in the highest caste family, highest caste as a Brahmin, he wanted to remove that notion, remove that. He went and he cleaned the bathroom of this Rasika's house actually. To remove that I am supreme, I am something superior, to remove that notion, he had cleaned the bathroom of this Rasika's house. And this Rasika was a sweeper in Dakshineshwar. Every day used to sweep that Dakshineshwar temple complex, and he was paid, of course. And he carried his services. After some time he used to observe Sri Ramakrishna. Somehow he felt, though he is illiterate, he never studied Mahabharata, he never studied Ramayana or Vedas, he never attended satsangs like you and all. But somehow he felt Sri Ramakrishna is something unusual, something divine, something is there in him. That's what he had understood, but he doesn't know much anything about it, more than that. But he started observing all the best people of the Calcutta or the Bengal or the Indian society are coming and they are sitting at the feet of under the Sri Ramakrishna and they are listening. So much respect, so much love, so much devotion. So that made him to think, probably this person is a great person. That's why magistrates, I mean the judges or the solicitors, the doctors, engineers, all are coming and sitting at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna and they are listening. That means something unusual. Then slowly started minutely started observing Sri Ramakrishna. Somehow knowingly or unknowingly, he developed devotion towards Sri Ramakrishna. Now he wanted to go and sit among the devotees and to hear the divine words of Sri Ramakrishna. Because that casteism was there, though Sri Ramakrishna never encouraged it, but he felt, I belong to lower caste and all their upper caste people and very cream of the society, bureaucrats, statesmen, all they are coming and listening to Sri Ramakrishna. Whether I am allowed or not, maybe I am not. So thinking himself, he never ventured. But many times he used to see many people coming and sitting with Sri Ramakrishna and listening, they are getting the words of Sri Ramakrishna teaching. And he used to tell, see, you are not blessed in this life, you are not fortunate enough, you cannot get the words of Sri Ramakrishna in this life, you can only watch, maybe next life you can hear. That's how he used to console himself. But slowly, that Vyakulata, Sri Ramakrishna says, yearning for God, that started getting increased in him. And in 1 or 2 years, he started developing so much love towards Sri Ramakrishna. He used to sweep very nicely, clearly, Dakshineshwar temple complex, no doubt. But the particular paths where Sri Ramakrishna used to use, like from his room he used to go to Panchavati, from room he used to come to Kali temple, that particular roads, particular paths which Sri Ramakrishna used to use, used to take utmost care, even a small twig should not be there on that, so that Sri Ramakrishna should not get hurt. That devotion he developed. So he's cleaning and he used to take out extra care so that there should not be any small pebble, not stone or not a twig, so that Sri Ramakrishna will not get hurt. It happened 3 or 4 years probably. One day Sri Ramakrishna came out of his room just to answer a natural call. He came carrying the water. That day somehow yeah, this Rasik was overpowered himself. Emotionally, he was so charged, he couldn't control himself. He was waiting, he was hiding behind a tree or behind a pillar, and he was waiting whether Sri Ramakrishna will come, Sri Ramakrishna will come. He was hiding and he was waiting for some time. Sri Ramakrishna was unaware of it. He came just to go to Panchavati to answer a nature call. Rasika went and he caught Sri Ramakrishna's feet, and he profusely started crying. He cried so much so, in his tears, he washed the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna asked in Bengali, colloquial Bengali, in the village style, Ki holo? What happened? Then this Rasika asked, Ama ke ki hobe? What will happen to me? It's all like formulas. Sri Ramakrishna is asking what happened, and he is saying what will happen to me. No connections when we hear these sentences. Sri Ramakrishna says, Tumake ki hoiche? What happened to you? Na, amake ki hobe bolu. No, you have to tell me what will happen to me. Then Sri Ramakrishna kept quiet. Then this Rasika said, no, amake apni rakha kotte ho. No, you should protect me. You should take care of me. Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, ठीक আছে, হয়ে যাবে. Okay, let it be done. See, all are like formulas. Nothing makes any sense. And he said, and Rasika got, and Sri Ramakrishna blessed, and he left. Then after a few years, Sri Ramakrishna developed throat cancer. We all know that. He came to Shampupur and Kashipur. He left his mortal coil. When Rasika heard, by that time he was already quite old, when he heard Sri Ramakrishna left his physical body, it was a great shock for him. He couldn't bear that pain. Then he started slowly indrawing himself, and because of his old age also, he said, now I cannot do any more work and I don't want to do. And he gave his job to his daughter. He asked her to take care, and he started living just. Most of the time, God-centered life. Just trying to remember Ramakrishna, trying to remember Sri Ramakrishna's life or teachings or the incidents or whatever. One fine day, this Rasika called his family members and said, don't come near me till I call, and today you finish early food. In the India, if someone is dying or someone is died, we don't take any food. That's the culture generally practiced. So he said, so probably he had a notion that today is the last day, so he told, you will have an early breakfast, early lunch today. The family members, they felt unusual, but still they cooked and they finished their lunch at the breakfast time itself. And they were doing some works. And at some point of time, Rasika called all his family people, hey, come here, Esho, come here. Look, Sri Ramakrishna has come, spread the mat, let Sri Ramakrishna take the seat. Now Rasika is saying, he's sleeping on the bed, and he's saying, Sri Ramakrishna has come, spread the mat. Now the people are saying, in and around, no one is there. These people are thinking, he's become old, so he has lost his memory, he's lost his mental balance, so he's telling something. Just keeping quiet, not doing anything. He said, look, Sri Ramakrishna has come. Are you not able to understand? Put the mat, spread the mat there. Then because he insisted second or third time probably they had put the mat. I said, look. He said, Thakur, apni yesh chen. Sri Ramakrishna, as you promised, you have come today. Amar hoiga che. Chalun, apnar songe jabo. Everything is done in my life. Come, please, you take me. I will come with you. And he's calling Rasika. Look, Master has come, Sri Ramakrishna has come. I am going along with him. If anyone wants to join with me, he's asking, anyone wants to join with me? All the family people are keeping aloof. No, we don't want to come. So then he remembered, he uttered Sri Ramakrishna's words and he left. He left his mortal coil. He passed away. This is the greatness and this is the significance and the beauty of devotion. You need not to study anything. You need not to be a Pandit. You need not to know Upanishads or Ramayana or Mahabharata. You need not to belong for the very upper class or lower class. You need not to anything. Just if you love God, everything is taken. That's what is a Parama Prema Swarupa. Love. That means what? Sri Ramakrishna, Kandana Bhava Bandhana. That's how we started. He removed, he destroyed, he broke the shackles, the chain. So probably Rasika will not to have any more birth. He's completely liberated person. he attained that immortality. Amrita Swarupacha we had studied. So this is what Guna Dhyana I mean to say. So Sri Ramakrishna has got infinite qualities. You take Shiva, you take Rama, Krishna, Durga, Jesus, Allah, Jehovah. All of them have got this infinite divine qualities. You can think of their mercy, you can meditate on their compassion, you can meditate on their divinity. So many infinite qualities God has got. We can list some of them and we can meditate. This is called Guna Dhyana. Then other is Rupa Dhyana. Rupa Dhyana is meditating on the form, which generally we have got, all of us we know, whoever is initiated, all of our gurus have taught this. Meditating on the form, divine form. Sri Ramakrishna has a beautiful form, we all know that, we have got his photograph. In the history of the religion and spirituality, first time we have got the authenticated photograph of an incarnation. All others, based on the visions, it has been drawn, painted by an artist. All gods and goddesses, incarnations and prophets. But in Sri Ramakrishna's case, we have got authentic picture because it has been photographed. So if you know Sri Ramakrishna or any god, you can meditate on that universal form. This is called Rupa Dhyana. Then whenever you sit, you can meditate. You are traveling, not while driving of course. If you are sitting in the side of the driver, you can always visualize the divine form. Then other is called Smriti Dhyana, remembrance. Here Smriti, what I always say, Leela Dhyana, I always translate that the way you will understand beautifully, Leela Dhyana. Leela Dhyana is the divine sport of, any god or incarnation prophet. Probably this Leela Dhyana was once we experimented in the Scotland study group. For example, all we know the Kalpataru Sri Ramakrishna, January 1st in 1886, what happened we all know that. So we can see it simply, and if you have studied, if you visited Kashipur, fine, or otherwise just you can Google and you will get the Kashipur house picture and just see that at 3 p.m. Sri Ramakrishna wearing the green color shirt, coat and with a dhoti and with a cap, he got down from the first floor, slowly got down with 1 or 2 disciples slowly to the garden. Girish Chandra Ghosh, Balram Bose, so many, all householder devotees, no monastic disciples were there then. All the only householder disciples were there actually if you see. All householder disciples were there. Sri Ramakrishna slowly came down and he started walking. Sri Ramakrishna was able to walk after a long time. All devotees were feeling so happy. Then someone was sitting below mango tree, someone was sitting below some tree or somewhere and all. Everyone came near Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna asked, Girish, what is that I am hearing? You are saying that I am an incarnation. What did you find in me? What did you see something so much in me? And this Girish, who is the greatest, music composer, or he used to compose dramas and all. He is basically intellectual person and also he had a lot of capacities, we know that. In a kneeling position, he said, even Valmiki, Vasishta, Vedavyasa, the Brahmarshis, they couldn't describe you, who are you. Then this common person, wicked person, what I can tell about you. So in such a humble way, with the devotion, he expressed his emotion, or he expressed his devotion. Sri Ramakrishna felt so, he was moved by his devotion, and Sri Ramakrishna said, what shall I say? Tumadir Chaitanya Hok. May all you be illumined. What a greatest statement, or what a greatest blessing. May all you be illumined. And he went to the trance, everyone started, the whole atmosphere got spiritually elevated, spiritually charged. Someone started feeling their Kundalini Shakti getting raised. Someone went to deep meditation and they were able to see the God full form, their Ishtadevata's full form. Someone get intoxicated, spiritually intoxicated, they were unable to speak, just they sat. Someone started shouting with a different God's name. Someone fell unconscious on the ground. So many different type of experiences we get, narrations of the devotees. All things happened in that Kalpataru. And Sri Ramakrishna blessed everyone except two. He blessed everyone, all their desires were fulfilled, all their prayers and wishes were fulfilled. Then after some time again, Sri Ramakrishna came down from his transcendental state of the mind or ecstatic state. Then again he went back to his room. This incident we know in Great Master in Gospel of Ramakrishna we can read and we can meditate on this. Meditating on this Leela Dhyana which helps us, why? Because always our mind is not concentrated. our mind is not stable always. So to do japa, or to do especially rupa dhyana, to do on the meditation on the form of the Ishta, on the God, always may not be possible. Especially when our mind is agitated, when our mind is reacted too much, that the mind is disturbed, then meditation, japa, studies, everything will be difficult. Then this lila dhyana, if you take, it is easily you can think, you can, keep on visualizing it, your mind gets calm, your mind gets settled, and you get a lot of emotional strength, which I myself am an experiment. When your mind is too much agitated, too much reactive, too much disturbed, when you start thinking these divine incidents, beautiful incidents, your mind gets calm. Your mind, and also you will get energy, and you will get an assurance. Yes, Sri Ramakrishna is there, my master is there, Holy Mother is there. They are there to take care of me. So that assurance, emotional assurance, internal assurance, when we get it, that is invaluable. Every one of us know how valuable it is. So this is called Smriti Dhyana or Leela Dhyana. Then this type of three types of meditation, after explaining, the Narada goes with the bhavas. So morning it's just I explained with a few things. Bhava is an approach or is a relationship. Bhava is also called mood actually. Here it is, we are taking a relationship. We are trying to view the God. What is the relationship between me and him? So for an example, you can say, God is complete and I am the part of the God, which qualified Manoism, Vishishtadvaita speaks. Like I am a child of the God, or I am the part of the God, one is that. And in the Santana Bhava or Shanta Bhava, they say it is God is neither father or mother and I am his son or daughter. So this is called Shanta Bhava or Santana Bhava. So in this Bhava, we can start respecting, we can start developing our devotion by establishing this relationship. Initially it will be pseudo, initially it will be imagination, initially it will be superimposition, but once you get into this more and more intensely, more and more advanced when you get, it becomes real. And we can see in the Sri Ramakrishna's, the 12 years of intense life, first 4 years of his life, we see in this Santana Bhava or Shanta Bhava. He worshipped Mother Kali, thinking that I am the child of the Mother Kali. For 4 years he worshipped, he did all of his spiritual practice and he had the vision of Mother Kali. So this is called Shanta Bhava or Santana Bhava. The other is, which is being given by Narada, is Dasya Bhava. Dasya Bhava is Sri Ramakrishna is, or Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Shiva, or whoever is a master and I am a servant. The best example is Hanuman and Rama. Rama always, Hanuman used to worship Rama as a master and servant. I am his servant. So why the servant relationship is taken from few people? To crush our ego. All of us, we have got egos. To crush our ego means what? To dissolve individual ego in the cosmic ego. Just like, for example, a small river. It has its individual existence. When that river goes and merges in the ocean, what happens? It becomes the entire ocean actually. You can't find out that particular river where, for example, Ganges, it goes and merges in the Bay of Bengal. You cannot find where is Ganges there. So Ganges was in only in particular thing. When it gets merged, it became an ocean, entire ocean. So similarly, through this Dasya Bhava, our little ego, our pseudo ego can be merged in the universal ego or in this cosmic ego. That is what Dasya Bhava. That's a very beautiful sadhana. Then someone believes, okay, all these things I don't believe. I said, I think God should be a friend. Hello, hi, we all say that, isn't it? So, okay, God, let the God be friend of mine. Fine, you can do that. For example, Krishna and Kuchela, or Krishna and Sudama are the beautiful examples which we give in the standard scriptures. Kuchela and Sudama was a friend actually. He was a friend and Krishna was God, but still both of them had a wonderful relationship. Similarly, Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna and Arjuna, though they were relatives and all, but they were good friends actually. Krishna and Arjuna both were very good friends. So similarly, we can take Sri Ramakrishna, Rama, Krishna, or Jesus, or any God, whomever we like. We can then, he or she, any God, or goddesses, it can be considered as a friend and we can develop this relationship. So all these relationships is what? To establish the connection between myself, individual, and between the God. It intensifies our spiritual practices. It intensifies our relationship with the God, and it intensifies, or it helps us to quicken our spiritual progress or reaching the God. That's why these things are very, very important. Unfortunately, many times we don't give importance to it, we don't think seriously about it. The other is beautiful is Vatsalya Bhava, which is most common for all the mothers. The Yashoda, how she looked after Krishna. And if you see in the Sri Ramakrishna's devotee, Gopala Irma, Aghor Mani Devi, whoever has studied life, it is a beautiful life we should study. It is a Gopala Irma. She was a widow again, and at the age of very young age, because of the child marriage, she became a widow. And afterwards, some money, 500 rupees was there in those days, and she had kept in a bank, and she used to get few rupees. In that, she was able to manage her simple life. And Lord Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna's time she was living, and afterwards, when she saw Sri Ramakrishna, her sadhana got culminated. Morning 3 o'clock she used to get up, she used to take a cold water bath, and for 2 or 3 hours she used to meditate, and she used to sing some prayers, and she used to do some service in the temple, because temple people had given a free accommodation for her. And as a necessity and also as a sadhana she used to do, afternoon she used to have a small nap, again evening some study of Bhagavata, Japa meditation, and evening 7 o'clock she used to take some food and she used to sleep. And slowly when she started doing, after a few years, her Ishtadevata, chosen deity was Balakrishna, little Krishna or baby Krishna. Baby Krishna used to come literally with this Gopal Irma Aghora Mani Devi. And the little Krishna used to come and ask, bathe me. And she used to take near Ganges and she used to bathe. And while bathing, he used to run here and there, he used to do all child pranks. She has to control. By the time she was old, she was feeling bit difficulty, but she has to control this baby Krishna, and she has to control her child pranks, all this, holding her, giving a bath, and afterwards dressing him with the clothes and doing some makeup and all, everything she used to do. And afterwards she used to say, you have given bath now, I am feeling hungry, you give some food for me. And she, poor lady, she didn't have much food in that. So whatever puffed rice and whatever sweets or whatever was there, she used to feed it. And it is afternoon, mid-afternoon. So she said, now you have played enough and you had your food also. Come, both of us will sleep. And when small pillow was given, Krishna used to tell, no pillow. I want to sleep on your hands only. So in the olden days also, mother or grandmother used to do that. So she used to extend her hand, and Krishna used to sleep on her shoulders only. And there also used to get up and do something, pranks and all used to do. She used to go handle, and sometimes she used to get, very angry, and she used to slap him also. And when he slaps, he used to cry. Then again she gets melted with his crying, and he used to take care. So it is a wonderful game, basically, wonderful play, divine play. See, when we hear only, we feel so nice, so happy. And imagine this Aghor Mani Devi or Gopala Irma, when she had the vision of Krishna, and when the Krishna was playing with her, what experience she would have had. What the divine bliss, Paramananda we say, Brahmananda we say, what experience she would have had. That's why Yashoda said, I don't want mukti, because I want to enjoy you. I want to play with you. I want to enjoy your play. So Aghor Mani Devi also enjoyed the divine play of Krishna even in this modern time. So this is what called Vatsalya Bhava. I am a mother. Of course, male people can take it as a father, but it is not generally practiced. Only mother, Vatsalya Bhava is generally told. So I am a mother, and the God is a son. The God is a son. If it is a female daughter, it can be. What a beautiful thing. So I will look after, like Kausalya Devi looked after Rama, Yashoda looked after Krishna. So we can also started thinking of Ramakrishna, Sharda Devi as a mother, and we can also worship them. Then other mode of sadhana is also puja, ritualistic worship. So this ritualistic worship includes 2 or 3 things. One is the primary thing of the ritualistic worship is devotion, bhakti. Bhakti is the primary thing, we have to have it. Then only puja makes sense. One is that bhakti. After bhakti, then we use mantras actually. Mantras are sacred chants which has been composed or which has been revealed to great rishis, these mantras. And the third is rituals which are called tantras, which are called rituals. We do so many ritualistic parts, step by step. All these 3 things includes puja. Puja includes devotion, puja includes mantras, and so puja also includes tantras, that is the steps, rituals which is done. So this is also a type of devotion. So whoever wants to be a great devotee, one can practice either mental worship, or if there is a chance, they can also practice ritualistic worship. There are so many devotees, they have learned pujas I have seen in the house. 30 minutes, 40 minutes or 1 hour, they do literally how we do in the ashramas, 40-45 minutes in their own humble way. They try to do everyday ritualistic worship so that they can increase the devotion, they can feel that divinity or feel the presence of Sri Ramakrishna in their house and in themselves more and more. As a part of their devotional practice, they do practice this worship. And there is one more beautiful relationship which is called Kanta Bhava or Madhura Bhava, which Mirabai practiced. Mirabai thought, she practiced this devotion that she is a wife and Krishna is the Lord. Lord means husband. Same thing, Radha. Radha was actually, she had a biological husband actually. She had a biological husband. But then Radha Krishna, why we worship, or Radha Krishna, why that so much name has been joined? Why? Because Radha, though she had a physical husband, biological husband, she used to look after him and do her all physical services, whatever is required. But she was always thinking about the Krishna as his husband. So much so that she used to get engrossed in the Krishna's thinking. Many times she started thinking herself as a Krishna. This is what happens in this dhyana actually. When we are meditating on Sri Ramakrishna more and more, what happens? We get some quality, some nature of Sri Ramakrishna himself, like purity, practicing truthfulness. We can see these things also very clearly, very mystic. Lot of experiences are recorded in the Christian saint's life also. For example, Christ was crucified, we all know that. He had a wound here, in this especially palms and all. There are so many saints, it has been recorded, when they meditated, when they prayed, when they loved so much so that Christ, even the saint's life, in the saint's palm, there was a scar, there was a wound, blood was oozing out. All these things has been seen and witnessed from many devotees, from many monks, among the saints, Catholic saints especially. Why? That so much feeling oneness with the God, feeling oneness with the chosen deity, oneness with the worship, the object of worship, that is Ishta or God or whatever. So in the Madhura Bhava, actually, it is I am the wife and God is my husband. This Madhura Bhava is practiced. Radha we can take, Mirabai we can take, and there are so many in South India when it comes, Andal is there. There are so many people who have worshipped and who have achieved the Lord. And the other, which is important, of all this spiritualistic worship, Narada says, one is Sharanagati Atmani Veda. Now people may say, I have to surrender, I have to surrender, I have to surrender. They say, that means, is it not the slave? Or is it not, that means your scriptures are not encouraging the slavery? Means because I have to surrender, that means I have to be slavery. Whatever God says, I have to listen. So is it a type of encouraging the slavery? No. Here it is willfully surrendering to the Lord, thinking that He is the best one, He is superior, He doesn't have any selfishness, He doesn't expect anything from me, but by surrendering, I get more thing. In the slavery, what happens? My boss is expecting something. He has got selfish interest, he has got self-vested interest, and is very calculative. All these so many things are there. But here it is surrendering, it is not an act of slavery. Many people do ask these questions with me when I was talking about these things. That's why I'm telling you. So it is not a slavery. Surrendering is what? Again, it is a crushing ego or merging the ego with the cosmic ego. Merging this individual ego with the cosmic ego. Or still making the zero resistance. When the zero resistance, what happens? Automatically the flow will be very quicker. For example, now there is nothing is there, any small child, if you leave, easily it walks. But in between, if there is a table, a big table has been kept, then the baby cannot walk because there is a hurdle, big hurdle. So similarly, our ego is one of the biggest hurdle for us, why we are not able to reach the God. And this Sharanagati Bhava, Atma Nivedana Sadhana, is what helps us to crush our ego, or in Sri Ramakrishna's language, ripening the ego. Kachami, he says. Kachami and Patvami. So we have to ripen our ego. How can I ripen the ego? I am the servant of the Lord, I am the son of the Lord, I am the friend of the Lord. So with this type of divine relationships, we can ripen the ego. By surrendering, of course. That's why Sri Ramakrishna never used to say, I will do. If mother wish, it happen. Many times people have asked, if mother wish, if it happens, if that means he is not complete, he is not capable, he is depending on Mother Kali, then how can you worship him as a God, Sri Ramakrishna? Because God is all powerful, then Sri Ramakrishna should have done, he could have done all these things. Why did he say that let mother wish happen? So it is because he's trying to teach us that there should not be ego. And also used to refer to himself like in this body. Means what? It is a sign of Atma Nivedana or Sharanagati. Ami, no. Tui, no. Tumi, apni. He, Sri Ramakrishna says, very beautiful example also. Instead of saying I, no, but thou. Not I, you, not I, but you. Even if you see puja and if you see in the homa and all, we say at the last. In the Purnahuti of the homa, whoever in Berlin also, you are listening to that prayers and all. Yat karmam, yaduktam, tatsputam, tatsarvam brahmarpanam bhavatu swa. Whatever I have done, whatever I have thought, consciously or unconsciously, whatever I have done consciously or unconsciously, everything I am offering in the Brahman, I am offering in the God, so that let it be divinized. And not only that, and I don't know what to do and I don't know what not to do, but whatever is possible I could do it. Please accept as it is and please bless me. This type of prayers we do in every chanting, in every puja, in every ritual, so you see that. Why? Because of Atma Nivedana. This is what Sharanagati Bhava. And the other is called Tanmaya. Narada says. Tanmaya is what? Completely getting absorbed in Sri Ramakrishna or in any chosen deity or in the God. The best example we can see in the life of Ramakrishna itself, Shivratri incident. If you know, on Shivratri day, we all fast and we try to do more meditation, spiritual practices. So Sri Ramakrishna also probably was at the age of 13 or 14. That day he wanted to fast and he had prepared himself for worship and he was in that Shiva's mood, thinking Shiva always. And that night we are supposed to keep awake ourselves. So there was a drama, religious drama based on the Shiva's stories. Unfortunately, the person who was supposed to take the play of a role of Shiva, he got dysentery and he got unwell. He was not well, he became sick. Then what to do? Sri Ramakrishna was a good player. That's why he's playing with all of us, we know that. Sri Ramakrishna was a good player also. So then all of the friends, they discussed and they came and they discussed and they said, Gada, you should come, you should play. Sri Ramakrishna said, no, because I have decided that today I will fast and I will think more and more about Lord. I will do some ritualistic worship, prayer, meditation. I have decided I cannot come. Then the friend said, look, you are doing all these things fine. By doing only you will enjoy. But if you come and enact the Shiva's role, whole village will enjoy. Whole village will be thinking about Shiva. So this is the best sadhana, best tribute or best worship of the God. Why don't you think? So they gave the universal idea there. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, okay. Then he got accepted or he got convinced and he came and but by the time already he had meditated enough on Shiva. He was in the Shiva Bhava. But he was brought and he was made everything ready as like Shiva's costumes were all decorated him. And he was in the Shiva Bhava when they took and when they left on the stage, just he went holding the trident and he lost in that consciousness. People started feeling that Shiva himself has descended on this earth and is standing on the stage. People were all dumbfounded. Just like they thought that for some time that Shiva himself has come there. Then fine, after some time again they came to sense that now the drama has to start, but no drama. Drama has been arrested, has been stopped. Then finally they have to bring back Sri Ramakrishna holding his hand and from the stage, and that day I think they couldn't enact. So this is called Tanmay. So when we obsess so much with that idea, when our mind gets completely soaked in that idea, we start behaving in that form. Same thing we can see in the life of Holy Mother also. Yogin Maharaj, Swami Yoganji, he narrates his reminiscences, and I think Yogin Ma, Golap Ma, all of them they narrate. Many times, even after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, when Holy Mother, because she was grief-stricken, they thought and they took for Vrindavan and all places. In Vrindavan, when she was there, sometimes she used to laugh. She used to laugh in such a way that people, when they saw, as if Sri Ramakrishna is laughing. So many times they were getting confused whether she is Sri Ramakrishna or she is Holy Mother Sharda. Why? Because that's where we see Sri Ramakrishna's bhava has taken the form of Holy Mother. Our Holy Mother has completely merged her mind with the Sri Ramakrishna. That's why she started behaving like Sri Ramakrishna. This is what we call Tanmay. That is possible for all of us. Feeling more and more intensely about Swamiji, Vivekananda, or Rama, or Krishna, or Jesus, or Shiva. More and more intensely feeling that what happens, their qualities, their nature, to a certain extent it can manifest. If you are ready, if your mind and body is ready, if it can receive that greater power, then probably people by seeing us, they feel that, oh, is a Raya Ramakrishna or whatever. The same thing I have seen, or like we have heard from Bhuteshanji's life. In a very advanced age, maybe 80 plus or 90 plus, the devotees or the monks, when they used to approach and talk with Bhuteshanji Maharaj, they used to feel impressed, they used to feel elevated, all these things. Apart from this, they never used to think that he is a human being and is a male. Even the female never used to feel that he is a male. The sense of that body consciousness itself is completely, it was not there in him. So they never felt that he is a human being and is a male or female, nothing. So that the sense of duality, the sense of sex itself was not there. That's what many devotees, many monks have narrated in their reminiscences when they used to approach Swami Bhuteshanji. That means even in the present age, this is possible. And once it is I think it is only among the monks it is known, very few things. Like this, many things are there. One is regarding Bhuteshanji. Bhuteshanji, before his leaving his body, 3 or 4 years before, he had a major surgery. After the surgery, he was brought to Belur Math, and as a precautionary of his health and hygienic and all, then devotees and including sadhus and devotees, they were not allowed to touch his feet. So there a barricade was put only from distance, and people can come and they can do pranam and they can leave. And Bhuteshanji is sitting there, and he was asked not to react. Bhuteshanji, but he was very nicely, very humorously used to react. Then he's sitting simply. And generally, when the pranam timing there, monks, especially when the monks and brahmacharis comes, monks and brahmacharis used to tell something, Maharaj used to make some fun, and there used to lot of jokes and lot of fun and all. That day, Maharaj is sitting simply, very seriously, like as if he's sitting very serious. Monks and brahmacharis came, did pranam after some time, and they are waiting, Maharaj will tell something. No. Then one sadhu asked, Maharaj, why you are not speaking anything today? Listen. Means he's telling that my secretary or my sevak has said not to speak anything. What to do like that? Then afterwards they spoke then they triggered him and he spoke few words, and afterwards monks and brahmacharis left. And devotees started coming and they started doing pranam. Then Bhuteshanji made a comment. Ganges is flowing, but people are unable to touch. Ganges is flowing, Ramakrishna Ganga is flowing, but people are unable to touch. Means they are unable to touch me, they are unable to take the blessings now. So see that he started feeling that he is Sri Ramakrishna. Ganges is flowing, but people are unaware of it, people are not able to touch that. So in that what mood, in that what bhava, these people would have left. I think yesterday also I gave an example of my Gurudev. In the 90s, he said, 5 years grace period over, my time has come, I will leave. This is what their mental state, this tanmaya. Beautifully, I think, Yoga Vasishta are in Adhyatma Ramayana, they say, Tat Chintanam, Tat Katanam, Anyonya, Tat Prabodhanam, Etat Eka Paratvancha Brahma Bhyasa Vidurbudaha. The knower of the Brahman, the people who have experienced the self, they tell this, there is the only one path to reach the God or to reach the self. What is that? Tat Chintanam. You have to keep on thinking about that only. Tat Katanam. And you should talk on that only always. Anyonya Tat Prabodha. And we should discuss only on that always. Then what happens? Prabodha. Enlightenment. Awakening happens. And this is the only way practiced by the knower of the Brahman. Etat Eka Tvancha Brahmabhyasa Vidur Buddha. This I think in Yoga Vasishta and Adhyatma Ramayana this is being told. So we should keep on meditating as much as possible. We should keep on thinking as much as possible in a different, multiple ways. These are the few sadhanas has been told. And the last one is telling that Parama Viraha, the supreme yearning for God. That we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. In these 12 years of sadhana, so much sadhanas he could do. Why? Because of this parama viraha. He had that yearning for God. If I don't see you, I will end my life. And so much he cried, so much he meditated, he left his sleep, he never cared for his body, and so much he was able to experience that divine. And according to him, when these 10 sadhanas, either one or two or all of this, if you can do intensely, this parama viraha, that longingness for God, automatically it comes for us. Once it comes, Sri Ramakrishna says, when you get that intense longing for God, that means you can understand the sky has become golden horizon. Means just it is about to, there is a time has come for sunrise. So if we can have that intense longing for God in us, if we can develop, that means in no time, I think very shortly, we will have the experience of the God. We will have the experience of the self. Experience in the sense, literally, like we see each other. So similarly, we can see the God. We can experience the God's there or God's stay or whatsoever, God's presence. That's what we can say. This parama viraha is what important according to the Bhakti Yoga. And this parama viraha is possible either one or two or all of these sadhanas. So may Shri Ramakrishna bless all of us so that let us develop more and more devotion, more and more faith, and let us try to achieve that longingness for Him so that we shall see Him, experience Him, and we shall end this cycle of birth and death. Thank you.